Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here. This is going to be our long talk discussion about the WWE Extreme Rules pay-per-view coming up this weekend. It's going to be a good show. I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, this is a game breaker for the WWE. I mean, this is a big time change. I mean, I talked about this a lot on my TNA Sacrifice video. Just basically, there was 2 fights on that show that I really wanted to see. When it came down to it, there was 3 fights on the whole show that were good. And then you have to really sit down and you have to think about it. If those 3 matches that you saw that were good, were they really worth $50 at the end of the day? How many times has a TNA or WWE pay-per-view came along and you were, on the fence if you wanted to buy it? Every once in a while, there's a WrestleMania, there's a Royal Rumble, there's a SummerSlam that comes up, and it's like, that's a guaranteed buy because that's an awesome card. But how many times do you see, John Cena and Randy Orton fighting for the 1,000th time? Or you see, just a whole bunch of mid-card matches that just don't really seem to get you that much. And you're like, I really want to see the main event, but at the end of the day, do I want to throw down $45 to $50 in order to see this show? This show, to me, is basically free. Yes, the WWE Network does cost $9.99 a month. And I don't even want to get into the debate about the people who, are already seeing that they think WWE is going to raise the price to $11.99, $12.99, $14.99. I don't care what it costs. I know that people last month got WrestleMania on the network, but this is the first time that it affects my life. WrestleMania is a pay-per-view that I just pretty much mark on the calendar every year. I'm taking vacation. I'm going to the show. It's one that I want to and I have to see live. But Extreme Rules to me is a show that when it comes down to it and I'm looking at it, it'd be cool to see Evolution versus The Shield. Daniel Bryan versus Kane really doesn't get me. If it wasn't for me looking at WWE.com right now, I wouldn't know a lot of the matches that were going down. This isn't a guaranteed buy for me, but I get this show for free. Bam! Can't beat it. I just think about it, how much I use the WWE Network. I take my iPad to work every day. Most of the time I come home and I watch something. Just this week I've watched World Class Championship Wrestling. I've watched an ECW pay-per-view. WrestleMania Rewind is one of my favorite shows. There's the Legends House, which is on tonight on Thursday. That's me reminding myself that I need to watch this. Think of all those things that they gave us on the Ultimate Warrior during Warrior Week. I basically have canceled my cables. I have canceled my cable subscription because of the WWE Network. Because I have Netflix, because I have Hulu, I'm able to save that $100 a month basically because they came out with this deal for $10 a month. I get so much stuff on there that I don't even really have to think about this show costing $10 to me. It is just basically WWE giving me one more extra show that happens to be a pay-per-view, which they now call special events. This is awesome. This is a game changer. This is a big deal. I hope everybody gets that. When it comes down to it, WWE used to put on an Extreme Rules show where every match had some sort of a stipulation that, just meant something that it sort of added to the fact. Sometimes the stipulations weren't as great as the other ones, but most of the times they did deliver a pretty good show. This one makes me scratch my head. There's some matches that don't have stipulations. They're just normal matches. It just sort of seems like they didn't really realize what they were doing. Sometimes when you book pay-per-view names a year out, in order to keep up traditions, it's hard to get to a point where you're going to need to have some sort of a stipulation in there. But this match changes all the rules. Throw it out. I don't care about it. People were saying on Raw that they were disturbed by this match. Just couldn't believe that WWE thinks people are going to tune in. This match is going to be awesome. We have Hornswoggle going up against El Torito in the first ever WeeLC match. Stevie Breach, what is a WeeLC match? I don't even know. The limits are endless. I would guess this is a playoff on the TLC match, and they're calling them Wee Man, or pretty much whatever it is. But basically, we're going into this match, and these 2 guys hate each other. There's a big-time rivalry going on between the Matadors and 3-Man Band. Hornswoggle sort of fell in place with 3-Man Band, filling in for Heath Slater. I heard that he was overseas doing singles matches, I think when they were over there touring Saudi Arabia and everything like that, and he has been the perfect fit for 3-Man Band with the chest tattoo, wearing basically just the best showing off the Muppet tattoos. No more, Irish hats. No more green vests and suits. Basically, it's been a while since Hornswoggle's been on TV. I had honestly just forgotten about what happened to it, and I actually had to go to the biggest Great Khali fan there is in all of YouTube, and I had to ask Assault and Battery, whatever happened to the, basically the faction of Natalya, the Great Khali, and Hornswoggle. One of the greatest, mysteries of the WWE. Basically it's a great spot to put Hornswoggle. I don't know if he's another guitarist in three-man band, or if they've added him as a drummer, or if he's the roadie, or what he is, but it is awesome. El Torito has been the one bright spot of the Matadors. When they were first announced, I had high hopes for these guys, but it just seems to be Epico and Primo coming out there wrestling with capes and having the mini guy running around like he's a bull. He does do some high spots. He does add some things at some certain shows, and they are pretty badass, and they are pretty cool. But overall, I just don't see the Matadors being a gimmick that continues on for years and years and years. But then again, three-man band has been around since Raw 1000, and that's a whole lot longer than I think a whole lot of other people thought they would be going down. I have no clue what this is going to be. I don't know what a WeeLC match is going to be. I'm guessing mini ladders, mini tables. Maybe like, they have, play school, big plastic tables that my kids play with. You know what I'm talking about. I know that guy's nodding his head. He's like, I got one of those in my backyard right now. I know what's going on. So we got, mini step ladders. We got the play school tables. I don't know what the hell they'll do with chairs. Maybe they'll have mini chairs again. Everybody can remember back to the chair match between, I think it was Sheamus and Big Show, where they just had that big, huge, monstrous chair from TLC a few years ago. Maybe they'll just have a miniature chair to go in there. I'm not sure. But definitely, I told my good buddy Danny, I used to make some videos with him back in the day where we'd go over the TNA pay-per-views. We do the pre-shows and we do the post-shows. And if you remember O Phenomenal X, as high as that guy gets, he's a good guy. And basically, he was thinking about going to Extreme Rules. He was surprised it snuck up on him also. He wants to head on out to, I think this is at the Izod Center, and check out the show. He doesn't follow wrestling as much as he once did. But basically, I just said, hey, you're gonna see the first ever WeeLC match. And I thought it was going to be just a big-time joke, and he was going to be like, oh, fuck it, I don't want to go anymore. But he fucking was pumped after I told him about Hornswoggle and Torito. It's going to be a fun match. I think it's definitely going to be a good opener. I'll take Torito to win this one. I don't think anybody's going to pick Hornswoggle, but this is definitely going to be one of those matches where you're like, that was fun near the end of it, unless they have just a whole bunch of shit in the middle. I don't know. But to me, going in, this is the match that I say, I'm excited about this match. I'm glad the WWE Network is going to be giving me this one. Peace out, everybody. Have fun. I'll see you down the road.